Good morning. Good morning. The trial is about to start finally after 2 years for Atatiana Jefferson. She is the young lady who was killed inside of her home by a Fort Worth police officer. She was inside playing with her little nephew, playing the game. They started hearing noises outside. She grabbed her gun. When someone entered, he saw her gun and he shot her inside of her home. This was not long after, maybe a year, maybe some months after Floyd was killed by the police officer. So it's been 2 years, and the trial is about to begin. May she continue to rest in peace. The cop, he had been a police officer for a year and a half. He went to this young lady's house on a welfare check. Gun drawn. Didn't announce that he was a police. How did she know it was not an intruder? He saw movement, said something, and seconds later he shot. On a welfare check, why is his gun drawn? White cop, black neighborhood, welfare check, gun drawn, sees movement in the house, and shoots. Yeah, it's been well overdue. It's been 2 years. This was 2019. Justice for Atatiana.
About what the rookie officer did the morning he killed Atatiana Jefferson in her own home, and did he follow his training?
It's not training, it's fear. When you have fear of a community out of order, you use your last resort as your first resort.
So we showed the body camera video of the incident to former Assistant Chief James Hawthorne. He was over the Arlington Police Department's academy. His biggest mistake was not announcing he was a police officer as soon as he approached the home.
We train officers as they approach to remember that, so that they do announce themselves, that they give loud, repetitive verbal commands before they take action, so they give the person on the inside an opportunity to understand who they are.
He says when officers don't do that, homeowners are startled.
Absolutely.
He says Dean also did not follow his training when he shouted commands, but shot within seconds.
It just did not seem that he gave the victim an opportunity to comply with his request.
The other concern is why Dean had his weapon drawn on a welfare check. Hawthorne says that's not necessarily a bad thing because no call is routine and officers don't know what they might face. But he also says it could raise the question of implicit bias. A white officer going into a predominantly black neighborhood, assuming the worst. Question of implicit bias. A white officer going into a predominantly black neighborhood, assuming the worst.
Train that out of people. You can never take it all away, but you know, we train that you can't make assumptions.
Dean's training records show that in May he went through cultural diversity training, and Fort Worth Police does have implicit bias training. Hawthorne says the department will now have to reevaluate its training after this incident.
Well over 2 years for the man charged in her death to go on trial. That is finally supposed to happen next week. A pretrial hearing is set for today in that case. That's usually when evidence and documents are all sorted out. That former Fort Worth police officer is charged in the 2019 shooting death of Jefferson in her home. His legal team has tried to further delay the trial.
No more delays.
Denied earlier this month. As of now, jury selection is scheduled to begin June 21st with opening statements 2 days later.
Yeah, it was a big deal with her parents, attorneys. Since then, both her parents have died. Yeah, sad. Justice for Atatiana Jefferson.